home, 5 o'clock, 5:30, usual time. I was debating whether or not I want to do a little stream chat today on my way home. Wasn't feeling too well towards the end of the day. It's a little bit of a cramp in my stomach that had me pretty much contemplating if I want to do anything for the rest of the day. I feel a lot better now. I had to change out of my fancy outfit. I don't know if any of you guys saw my short that I posted earlier on the YouTube today. It was quite an experiment. Let me get out here on the road here real quick. Here we go. Yeah. Hello, Orifolk, Curtis, and KP Heathen. Welcome. Yeah, I posted a little experimental post this morning, and I got a lot of really good feedback on that. Oh, look at this car. I'm passing in a blind turn. Okay, almost got hit by oncoming traffic. That would have took me right in the accident. All right, enough of that. I'm on my way home. I should be positively focused. Yeah, so I wore a suit to work today, and I work at a recycling place. It's kind of weird. I do wear a suit from time to time, on certain occasions when I want to surprise Vanessa and take her out, or when I do some important business. And today I didn't have any important business, but I thought it'd be a great experiment. Hello, Nick. Welcome. And it was a social experiment, actually. That's what I did for myself, to see how many people freak out. And I got a fair amount of people look at you today as well. Several locations I had some business to do, but any better than who I am. And I definitely work all the time. But I have noticed that when you put on a suit, you seem to get that extra level of respect that should be there in the first place, but people kind of look at you different. They look at you like a different person. It's just, I can't explain it. It's really weird. Yeah, it's glitchy. It's probably because I'm doing a mobile stream. Just hang in there. This area of where I'm driving right now has bad reception from time to time until I get down the road, so just hang in there. Yeah, so this is it's a social experiment that I like to do once in a while because it reminds me of my granddad. My grandfather told me a story, my German grandfather, when he was still alive. He used to tell me about an old German story. I gotta wait for this truck to pass so I can't get on the phone. Orifolk, you're in the land of the Greeks. Have you been there yet? Have you returned, or are you still there? I can't quite focus on the chat too much because I'm trying to stay on the road. So an old story that my grandfather told me was, it goes kind of in German, the name of it is Kleider machen Leute and Leute machen Kleider, which translates to people make clothes and clothes make people, which kind of doesn't make this sense in the direct translation, but it basically means people make clothes and the people who wear the clothes you wear define what people think of you, kind of like that. And so, yeah, this is so windy here today. And it's a really interesting social experiment I like to repeat once in a while because it's really interesting. I go places, people know me, and I walk in and I get this extra level of something that's never there when I just walk in on a regular basis with my normal outfit. And so I think there's something to it. You know, the story goes, if I try to put it in short term, in English, the story is about an old tailor. Well, not old. The story is about a tailor who's the best in town, but he's very poor. He lives in a poor village, and he lives in a super poor village, and he's really poor. He doesn't have a fancy piece of clothing to his name, but he's a very skilled tailor. And one day, this super rich guy comes in his shop and says, I would like you to make me a suit. do you have time to do this? And I want you to make it this, and this way out of these expensive materials, and I want it done by tomorrow. And the tailor said, yeah, I can do all of this, but you must understand that I'm not a rich tailor. You'd have to pay 100% up front. The guy's like, no problem. Here you go. Here's the money. I'll be back tomorrow afternoon to pick up my suit. And so like a day goes by, a week goes by, a month, a couple of months, and the guy goes, well, this guy never came back for the suit. What do I do with this expensive piece of clothing here, this expensive suit that I made for this guy, and he never came back, and he's not going to probably ever come back. He must have just, moved on, like it, forgot about it, whatever. And so the guy looks at it, and he's like, and he tries it on for size, and he noticed with a couple of quick stitches he could make it fit. And he takes the joke on, and he tailors the suit to fit himself, and he does a social experiment the same way. So he goes out into the world, and people start to look at him completely different. They don't look at him like the poor guy that the poor dude that runs that shop. They look at him like a businessman, and they start treating him like one. And so he says, if I have this expensive suit, and I want to make some money, I'm going to go hang out with the people who have it and talk the talk and see how far I can get the walk. So that's what he does. He goes and hangs out with all the rich people, introduces himself and makes an introduction into the society, and he starts to get business from all of these rich people. And since he does excellent work, people look at his suit and see that he's an excellent tailor, and that's what he went from being super poor to extremely rich by just changing social experiment, which is pretty cool. And I think it just blows my mind that the moral of the story is actually the way it's actually true. I mean, you're not going to get rich by wearing a suit. That's true, but the idea is there. The idea that people will look at you way different, treat you differently if you dress one or the other, if you dress accordingly to whatever society that you might be, So it's a German story, Orifurt. It's an old German story, and it's really cool. So it's like a social experiment that I like to do. And you've returned, very good, okay. That's good to hear you're back home. Yeah, and it just also gives me the opportunity to kind of remember my grandfather in a very special way as well. Like a small bit of information that's a moment in time that I will always enjoy when I'm wearing the suit. I'm thinking of my grandfather telling me the story, and I'm thinking of the opportunity to walk into the opportunity to make some money by just appearing differently. And it's just really funny. Here we go. Oh, I was back for it. Bad connection for a second there. This is one strip of Autobahn here that's like blacked out or something. I don't know if I'll be able to tune in later on with the laptop. Like, I wasn't feeling too well this afternoon, and I might have to go home and just kind of rest up a little bit. It's pretty hot, and I'm very tired. Yeah, I escaped the Matrix there for a second. Luke and Mom, welcome. Yeah, it's really cool, you guys. All of you guys to stop in. Like, so I'll rewatch the chat later. See everybody. If anybody wants to leave any comments, that's always great. Always appreciate your comments. And don't forget to smash that like button like a berserker. The whole gang of usual suspects. Yeah, there's a couple that are missing, but I can't always expect everybody to jump on the internet here when I'm online. Yeah, it's pretty hot today, and hoping to get home and relax a little bit. I've been very busy the last couple of days. I was lucky that Vanessa helped me out with the bees a little bit yesterday. She took care of all of the little colonies. I have to take a look at my larger bee colonies. I'll probably do that tomorrow. It's like a desert. Yeah, it's getting really bad here in Germany. You know, I'm gonna drive over in the slow lane here so I can take some more time with you guys. I'm gonna open the window. Can you guys still hear me all right? I just would like to have a little bit of air in the car. Yeah, it's a lot better with that window open. Yeah, Deutschland is burning. It's burning here. It's 37 degrees, my car says. And I'm really worried because my 1,000 liter water tank has expired its last water yesterday. Yeah, that's gonna suck. Nick, I'd have to look again later to see if it's still there. I checked a couple weeks ago, or you told me about it before, and I looked into it. But I'll take another look at it when I get home. Yeah, it's very hot. Little Pooh Bear is doing all right back there. I got him all blacked out back there, no windows, and he's got a curtain, a white curtain, so it's a couple degrees cooler back there. I got a nice sliding window to go in the door. I just got to get around to put that thing in because it's just got to happen. The AC isn't working, so I don't know if I want to fix that. I'm not a big fan of AC. Yeah, it's really hot today. Yes, I got a lot of reactions from wearing that suit today. It was pretty cool. It was quite a funny joke. It was kind of a joke, actually. It was fun. Maybe sometime I'll wear my Viking outfit to work. See how many reactions I get then. Yeah, I probably get a lot of negative feedback from that one. A cheap sauna. Yeah, well, maybe put some water on. You know, the bathtub now, it does. The bathtub does sound like a good idea. Yeah, I'm thinking about maybe going home, filling the bathtub full of water, and just relaxing for a couple hours. I gotta leave the exit here. I gotta pay attention to what I'm doing. Yeah, I go pick up my new anvil on Saturday. I'm really excited. I should put it in third instead of fourth. There we go. Well, what do you folk? Germans and Vikings. Yes, let me tell you a little story about. Yeah, the Germans like Vikings, but like everything Germanic these days, it's just because of a couple of morons. Everybody associates the Vikings in Germany here with National Socialist ideology, which is pretty terrible, actually, if you ask me. But that's, it's like everywhere. Anglo-Saxon, his Germanic, European appearances and history are being destroyed and brainwashed. People are being brainwashed to. It's being. How do I say? It's being. Can't find the right word. So basically, Anglo-Saxon, European, Germanic history is being destroyed. Oh, there goes the computer again. That's why that computer cost me $200. Because if it breaks, it's not the world. Oh man. Yeah. I got a lot of pretty lady looks today too. Let me tell you that. Like, ooh, who's that guy? Yeah, I could have had a big. My fan club could have grew quite largely today. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you how it is. Yeah. But yeah, Germans do like Vikings, but it just depends on how you look at it and who you ask. That's a lot of people associate like Viking culture and Viking lifestyle as too conservative, and then they go and they put you in the wrong category. Yeah, they kind of put it in that concept of the Aryan race, which is, they just put you in that category. And it's really easy to do that here in Germany. If somebody is anything but the establishment's interest, they get some kind of label. And they'll find something. They'll find, you have some certain type of physical appearance or tattoos, or you may have said something that could have been taken the wrong way, but you didn't mean it in anything that direction at all. So it's really just a big joke. But I ignore all of the disruption, and I know for a fact that I know why I really love the Viking Age, because it really relates back to my Germanic history. Since the Scandinavians were Germanic people who, during the Völkerwanderzeit, I don't know what you say that in English, are Central Europeans that wandered north during the Great Migration period into Scandinavia, into what you call today now Norway and Sweden, and settled there. Because the world was a constant changing place, and people were always trying to find a place to call home. And then northern Scandinavia was settled from the east, from the Eastern Europe section, from what's now Russia. And then you always had the Sami there as well. The Sami were the native people of Scandinavia who lived mostly up north in the polar regions. They've been there since the beginning ever. Well, the Stone Age, who knows, a very long time. And then that's how kind of that ideology, that group of people. And the Vikings didn't have blonde hair and blue eyes and all of that. Of course, there were Vikings who had that, but there were very many who had black hair. Very many who had different Europe. There were a lot of bearded Vikings because there was a lot of Scottish blood. People moved into that area of the world earlier on, and then became, after 2 or 3 generations, that was a population of people who called that place home. There's always been a small flow of different European genetics into different parts of Europe to shape a central group of people. Now you get a lot of talk about Vikings with blue eyes and blonde hair and 6 foot tall. Now a lot of Vikings, they had bleached hair, which was most likely the side effect of using lye soap to keep the lice out of your hair, because lice was a big problem back then. It was a big problem. And so they had lye soap, which bleached your hair. And so a lot of people seem to have appeared a lighter hair color than they actually had. And that's why in some written sources, some non-European written sources, you get the report that Vikings had light-colored hair. And most likely long hair of some sort or another. We are not 100% sure what exact haircuts the Vikings had. There are some small suggestions that they had like a side cut. There was one tapestry depiction of a Viking age soldier standing somewhere, and it looked like that. But we do know they had long hair, and that they used combs to comb their hair quite frequently. Simple fact, because of, like I said just now, lice. You would be able to comb them. If you comb them frequently, you would reduce the risk of, or the, you would reduce the effect of the infestation. And for the second fact is that they like to look the part. They like to be fancy. Viking age men and women, they put great importance into their physical appearance. Torah, I can't remember what that might be exactly. I'd have to look that up. What's that? I'm not familiar with that term at the moment. I'm going to go up here and say hello. I'm going to wave to the weather guy. He's sitting outside. Okay. I'm going to probably end the stream here in a little bit. I'm almost at the Viking camp now. drove an alternate route home because my camp is quite out there. If I take the straightway here, I save some time. Oh, okay. I'd have to look that up. I'm not familiar. That's a term I've never heard, so I'd have to look that up. Can't know everything. I'm not a mastered scholar of Scandinavian history. But I am having a little bit of a rough time this afternoon. A little bit of a stomach pain. I get that from time to time, and I just have to take it easy for a day. Looks like someone cut the grass here. I feel like Jim Carrey at the jungle movie. Yeah, I gotta pay attention. There's some deer on the road here usually that come up and jump out in front of me. I don't want to hit them. Yeah. Uh-oh. What's that? What you got there? Now, real unfortunate. The other day, I come up here and Vanessa comes running out of the garden. There's 2 baby dead rabbits in there. It was real unfortunate. I'm gonna park in the shade so Pooh Bear doesn't get burnt up here. There we go. Okay. I'm going to wind the window down. All right, shut the car off. Open the door. All right, that's a lot better. I'm gonna stay here just another couple minutes with you guys, and then I'm gonna end the stream, and then I'm gonna go let Pooh Bear out, do a walk around. Been an exhausting day. I still have work to do up here. I gotta mail a package tomorrow, so I gotta pack that up. And depending on how I feel later this evening, come back up here and work on the forge some more. I'd like to do 2 things that are on my to-do list. So yeah, so it's a really exciting experiment today. I was really, again, amazed at how differently people treat you if you're wearing a fancy suit. Yeah, so we came up here the other day. There was 2 dead baby rabbits in the gardening area over there. And the first one, I could clearly see that it was a bird of prey claw pinch got one of them. The other one, I think, just died straight up from shock. And then the mama bunny rabbit was running around down there. So we're hoping that she'll come back. We set up a little protection thing now with some drinking water so that the rabbits can hide in there. Amazingly enough, they don't eat anything from our crops. They have enough of the things that grow there that are really good for them. Wild radish, and all kinds of very nutritious plants for wild game that I've planted there 2 years ago in my first field of flowers. And it's coming through now again because we tilled the soil with the bobcat working on we call it the pizza bed because it's got sections like a pizza. And yeah, so we're hoping rabbit comes back because we really like to have it there. And it doesn't bother us because it doesn't eat any of our crops. That's especially interesting. It's got enough to eat, and so we put up a little shelter for it to be able to protect itself a little bit better from the. We have a lot of predator birds here. We have eagles, buzzards, and Milan. I don't know what the English term for that would be. Sort of like it's like a buzzard with a pointed tail. Last night, I was standing here in the forest, and there was a wild boar walking through the forest up there. A little one, but it was probably about the size of Pooh Bear. It was just walking through the forest, minding its own business. It was pretty cool. I get them here. I can see they walk up there quite often, but I'm really happy that they don't come down here and they start to root up and destroy all of my field area. When I received this field, when I just purchased it 3 years ago, the field was totally unserviceable due to wild boar damage. I couldn't even drive the Jeep through there. It was terrible. So I had to excavate a bunch of dirt, flatten it out, till it, do a lot of repair work. And so I could actually start to do something with it. I had no idea where this project was going to go from the get-go. I had no idea. I had big ideas about it. It was big. Yeah, I had all kinds of crazy ideas. And they kind of just started to evolve step at a time. I had to go through stages of testing and tuning to figure out what it is that works, what it is I want, what it is I need. And then, you get your mind changes constantly. Every year I have a different point of view on what I want to do. So the first year I was like, okay, this, and this. And then I was like, you know what? I've always wanted bees, but I wasn't ready for it that year. So the next year on my birthday, last year, not this last May, but 2 years ago, I got my bees on my birthday for myself as a birthday present. Well, actually, this is we're going on 4 years now already. I was just thinking about it. 4 years Viking camp. In April will be 4 years. Yep. Yeah, so I changed some plans around. I have a lot of great plans for the future. So my next big thing might be chickens. We contemplate on that every day. But I have to make I have to figure out how I'm going to do that. Chickens and yeah, I have this much time and this much work. So it's like, oh my. All my cool outdoor adventures that I like to film, those will all go away if I have any more responsibility than I have now already. It's pretty it's a lot of work, I tell you. It's a lot of work balancing my full day job with this is a full-time job as well. Every morning you have to come up here and check everything before you go to work, make sure nothing's happened. And then go to work, come home, take care of this place. There's things you got to do. I have no water left to water any of my plants. I'm going to have to do a water run. Speaking of that, I need to call they were going to come to my house and change the meter. Yes. Yeah, the dreams coming together, they're a little bit at a time here. Some kind of unexpectedly, just out of nowhere. And other ones where I've worked very, very hard now for the years that I've had this place. And I've been really contemplating very many years in the past up to the point that I am realizing now that's like with my workshop. That's been waiting for that for quite a long time. And that's actually really, really important to me. That was quite an experience to actually build that and have it complete. So, all right. I think I'm probably going to now. I'm going to go take a look at what Pooh Bear is doing. Let him out for a minute. I'm probably going to head home for an hour or so. And then I might come back up here tonight and do a live stream. We'll see how that goes. Yes. So that'll be all for today. Oh, you just got back from an overnighter in the woods. That's great. Thank you, Bob. I think I'll be fine. I just need to I just need to take a little bit of rest. I have one or the other thing that I usually, once in a while, that bothers me. I have to take care of, and just have to take it easy, and I'll be okay. So, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. I'd like to smash that like button like a berserker to let YouTube know I'd like to suggest more of my videos to more people to help grow this awesome community. So like always, stay safe and see you soon.